Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was the Teenage Exocolonist. Last time we got our beloved pets back. And we did a lot more babysitting. We're gonna keep up with babysitting, but we also gotta remember we gotta get Cal up to a good level of friendship before something. What was it? I don't remember. But we need to get his friendship up, and we're also gonna keep up with Dee's for obvious reasons. So I think we'll start this year off with some good old-fashioned babysitting. But first I'm gonna go around and see if there's anyone we can talk to. Babysitting! Sometimes it's a little difficult taking care of children with genetic enhancements. Some of them are pretty easy, like the ones with animals' ears and tails. There's one kid in the creche whose night vision eyes glow all the time and it always spooks you at nap time. Others are a bit more difficult. There's one kid who doesn't feel pain, who you always have to stop from actually injuring himself. Another kid loses teeth easily and grows them back like a shark. Another needs time outside every day because they can partially photosynthesize. Keeping track of everyone's unique strengths and considerations is part of being a good babysitter, and a good person. You get the kids down for a nap and close the door to the quiet room. Tammy is cleaning up the mess around the nanoprinter from an earlier fire-starting incident. "Phew," she says, rubbing her forehead. "That was a close one. I hope Maraschino isn't too embarrassed. These kind of things happen when you're just learning about your enhancements, right?" Tammy sits down heavily on the couch, her skirts puffing up around her. She looks ragged. "You know, I'm not sure I like that we can genetically modify children," she says quietly. "Doesn't it seem a little rude, messing around in someone's DNA like that? Deciding who they're going to be before they're even born? Like, how is it even okay for a parent to choose to change a child's body without their consent? Gino didn't ask to be able to start fires just by snapping his fingers." I actually agree with that. The genetic enhancements are cool, but I think that the kids should be able to choose what they want, you know? It doesn't seem right to be like, "I decide that my children cannot feel shame, and they cannot feel pain. I decide that. I am making your personality now." But then again, don't a lot of parents already do that already by forcing their kid into, like, extracurriculars and stuff, which is also stupid. She tugs at her ears. "I don't like my enhancement," she admits. "It's nice that I have cool ears, but I don't like being able to hear everything, you know?" Let kids choose for themselves. Tammy nods, accepting your agreement silently. She sighs. "I'd give anything to give back my enhancement," she says. "My dad probably thought it would help me be a better explorer or something, but that's not what I turned out to be at all." She rests her head against the back of the couch. "I wonder if it'd be different if I had another parent," she says. "I mean, like another one who raised me, not a surrogate parent. Would they have picked something different, or nothing at all?" Like many children, Tammy is a product of a colonist parent and a donor sample from Earth, carefully carried in the ship's genetic library to avoid bottlenecking the gene pool. Surveyor Tonin is her only known parent, and she was raised with love in the creche along with all of her creche sibs. "I mean, I don't know who gave birth to me," she continues. "Whoever it was, they wanted a closed surrogacy. I wonder if they helped my dad choose my enhancement. It's not like I can ask them." Sounds like someone's been doing some reading, considering it wasn't that long ago. She didn't know how babies were made. Maybe it's antecedent. Tammy laughs. "I don't think so. We worked together all the time. I think she would have told me. And she was so busy around the time we were all born. That's why there was a 6-year gap between Com and Anemone. She's had so many babies to take care of." She pauses. "Well, surrogacy would also explain the gap." Tammy's quiet for a few moments, then smiles brightly. "Well, it's none of my business anyway." "Aw, sweetie." I'm glad she's learning. I do remember that when she was like, I don't want to read it, it's too embarrassing." It's my birthday! Oh, and the expeditions are open. Alright, we gotta make sure we can get Sim as soon as possible. What did I say? Oh, it's another birthday gift! She steps back and reaches into one of the many deep pockets. Oh, it's another cake! I have shared with Tammy. But she's always got one for herself. She thinks of everything. Alright, yeah, let's go out and get this started. The sooner we find Sim, the better. Oh no! I need to get better organizing if I want to work in the kitchens. Aw, dang it. Well, Tammy's there. Tammy's hand shot up almost immediately. She's making little squeaking noises trying to get Antecedent's attention. She'll be perfect for it. Alright, we need to try and get in there. Alright, we're probably gonna alternate and try and get some organizing, because this is our creche run. We gotta do everything we can in the creche, including cooking. Ooh, that's 5 each time. That'll shoot up fast. Oh, Nougat demands your attention as soon as you show up for your shift in the creche. Hide and seek, she commands you. You look to Tammy for guidance, but she just shrugs helplessly. You cover your eyes and hear Nougat scamper off through the creche to find the perfect hiding place. Where do you look for her? Near the jungle gym. She's a maniac. She loves climbing things. She's probably over there. I mean maniac in a good way, by the way. Oof, there we go. Kinda messed that up there. To find the kid, you gotta think like the kid. You make a big show of searching everywhere except where Nougat is hiding. If you didn't already know, you for sure figure it out from the amount of giggling you hear when you comedically search the nanoprinter output tray, or the ceiling lights, or inside the giant holographic teddy bear. Eventually, you find Nougat exactly where you thought you would. You pretend to be a giant monster coming to drag her out of her hiding place and eat her. She shrieks and kicks in delight, but you're used to her by now, so you just scoop her up and blow a big raspberry on her stomach as she flails. Yabby, again! You spend almost your entire shift playing hide and seek. Eventually, it's not just Nougat, but a handful of other kids. Someone introduces a variant where you all have to squeeze into the same hiding place if you're found, which makes for a few disputes about whose elbow went where, but you and Tammy manage to sort it out. By the time the kids are done with hide and seek, it's nap time. Even the older kids go down without complaint, and for once, it's completely silent in the creche. You and Tammy stand at the door to the quiet room for a long time, just watching all the children sleeping peacefully on their mats. They're so good, Tammy whispers. You did really good today, Yabby. There's no happier place than this, you think. You never want to leave. Aww. Oh, yep, there it is. So for this one, we want to stand still, because Sim will save us. And then that means that he'll hopefully appear soon, because now we have run into him more than once. Perfect, we've got enough organizing, we can start working in the kitchens! Alright, apply to work in the kitchen. Auntie Seaton is looking for volunteers to come work in the kitchen with her. She's scanning the room for anyone who seems to be loafing around. Volunteer! She bustles over to you. You'll be perfect, Yabby, she says, hugging you. Then loudly to the others in the room, she declares, I'm glad somebody around here is responsible enough to put in their share of work. Everyone ignores her, shifting off awkwardly. No one wants to disappoint their auntie. Auntie Seaton gestures towards the nearby cafeteria and tells you to come by next week so she can show you the ropes. I will come by now. I'm coming by now. Back in space, cooking involved programming ration machines and putting dishes in the laser-matic dishwasher, because water was too precious to clean dishes with. But now you're growing more real food and trying to figure out how to cook with it. The cafeteria kitchens are bright and full of good smells. There's always something baking or boiling or frying. You take a deep breath in and just hold all of the deliciousness in your lungs. Chief Steward Anne, known to the kids as Auntie Seaton, is in charge of everything in the living quarters, running the children's creche, coordinating the cleaning bots, and of course cooking for the whole colony. It's a lot of work, but she's good at delegating to all the kids she raised here, including you. She's a big believer in learning by trying, and doesn't mind a few dinners are ruined in the process. Tammy waves cheerfully at you, and Auntie Seaton welcomes you with a big smile. Oh, look at you two. I just know you'll be a huge help here. She shows you the kitchen nanoprinters. Just press this button and the ration machine will spit out a freshly pressed cake of soy rations. It's not tasty, but it's nutritious. Then she shows you to the range. A large pot of brown stew is bubbling away. Here is where the real magic happens, she says proudly. Tammy claps her hands excitedly. Auntie, will we get to decorate cookies? She asks. Sometimes me and my dad used to decorate cookies together, and it's really, really fun, and I think everyone would really like it. We could do stained glass cookies with bobber fruit jelly. Yeah, let's make cookies! Auntie Seaton chuckles. Cakes and cookies with fruits and frosting? For 100 people? Why, you have quite an imagination, Tammy. She takes a ladle and spoons up some stew. We need to focus on large, hearty dishes that can easily feed many people, like this stew, she says. If things get busy, we serve the soy rations as is. But it's much nicer to actually cook them with something else. She beams. Full tummies make for happy workers. Antecedent sets you and Tammy up with a few basic kitchen tasks and leaves you to it. If you need help, I'll be just around the corner, she says. Or you can ask Congruence for advice. She has every recipe and method you would ever need, and she's an excellent teacher. You quickly have your hands full with the sheer volume of food it takes to feed 100 people. Workers from the canteen shuffle back to pick up trays of soy rations and pots of stew at regular intervals. Somehow you keep up. You poke your head into the canteen at lunch to see what people think about the food. Seems like they like it. Maybe you're cut out to be a chef. Can you be a chef? I think that'd be cool. Maybe that's one of the endings. Ooh. So he's talking about the food. Remember last time we had to find those rocks, but since we did this before, I know what she needs. You remember what Socks needs. Rocks! You've dreamed of it before. Giant dragons, adult dilly pillars out in the wild chewing up glittering mountains. You rush out to search for the right kind of rocks. You're in luck. There's a pile of excavated stones behind engineering, shiny with flecks of white in them. You return to Socks and Cal hesitantly places the rocks before her. She takes one in her delicate little forepaws, nibbles on it, and then shoves it in her mouth. She trills and runs around in a circle, waving her paws for more. It worked, Cal crows, giving you a big hug. Thank you, Yabby, you saved Socks! And I am also staying quiet again, but mainly because that gives us more friendship with Cal, which we definitely need. We're getting closer and closer to when we're going to be old enough to date. There we go. What happened to the fields? You won't tell me anything. You never tell me anything. Never. Alright, well that's the end to another year, and we have... Oh, Tammy's all grown up! Well, she's a teenager now, not all grown up, but she's getting there. It's just so bizarre to see her over there, considering most of the time she's dead. But she's not anymore, and as long as I can make sure that we don't need it to happen again, it never will again. She gets to live. My dad, not so much. But we'll worry about that another time. For now, I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourselves, play hide and seek, and have a good day.